Home in the bin, where the worms and bacteria play, where always is heard a recycling word, and compost is made through the day. Welcome to the worm bin. There are a lot of things in the worm bin. Check out this shredded paper, the food scraps, and the worms. Why don't you join me in an exploration about worms? First, we'll check out where the worms live. Then, we'll learn about the worm's body. So go ahead and click on the picture of the house. In this activity, you will learn about the habitat of red worms. A worm's habitat contains what worms need to live. Here, you will participate in a scavenger hunt. The quest of this scavenger hunt is to visit several stations and collect items needed in a worm bin. For example, one of the items in a bin is bedding material. As you collect items from the stations, they will be added to your checklist. You will use this checklist to help you build a worm bin in the tool shed. Click on the newsstand now. When damp, the bedding keeps the worms from drying out and provides them with food and shelter. At this station, you will pick up bedding materials to add to your checklist. Let's get started by answering this question.
What is most often used for worm bin bedding?
Uh-oh! Try again. But first, look at the clue provided for you.
What is most often used for worm bin bedding?
Yeah! You got it right! Shredded newspaper or most other paper makes good bedding for worms to live in. It's important that the bedding is flopped after it is shredded. This will bring air into the bedding so the worms can breathe. But worms don't breathe like humans. I'll explain more about this in a minute. Click on the glass of water now. Hey, look at this worm. See his shiny skin? He sure looks happy in that moist bedding. Do you think worms need water to live? Uh-oh! Actually, worms do need water to live, but they don't drink water. Instead, they use water to help them breathe. Worms actually breathe through their skin. When you take a breath, your body takes in oxygen through your lungs. A worm takes in oxygen through its skin. So keep that bedding damp. Let's check out the next stop to see what else worms need to survive. Click on the shovel now. Worms eat soil to help their bodies grind up the food. That is why you need to add soil to a worm bin. The small hard particles like sand in the soil help to grind the food that will pass through their digestive system. You know, the stomach and stuff. Check out this big worm. You can drag the magic magnifying glass over his body to see its digestive tract. When you're finished, click on the Done button. Now you know why you need to put soil in a worm bin. Hey, guess what kind of space villain works in a restaurant? Give up? Darth Waiter!
Use the compost, Luke.
Speaking of restaurants, let's go visit Mr. and Mrs. Worm in the Worm Dining Room. Just click on the table.
Hello, darling.
Hello, dear. Knock, knock.
Okay, who's there?
Justin.
Justin who?
Why, you're just in time for dinner, dear. And I'm so glad you made it. What looks good tonight?
I don't know, but what sounds good to you?
I'll tell you what doesn't sound good to me. Remember when that waiter served us chicken bones and it attracted all those pesky flies? Even a rat started coming around.
Or what about when he served us pieces of plastic?
How about we order the special? It comes with everything we like.
It's your turn to serve the special to Mr. and Mrs. Worm. Click on 2 food items that you think they will like. Hey! What did the astronaut say after he ate his dinner on the moon? Well, the food is great, but this place has no atmosphere! Okay, let's move on. And I'll sneak in another joke or two. Want to see more about how red worms live? Click on the miniature worm bin now. Red worms need their habitats to be just right. They are particular about their temperature, moisture, and light. Can't be too hot or too cold. Can't be too wet or too dry. And they like a dark place to live. Let's have Bubba explain.
Whoa, dude, this place is too hot. A perfect temperature, it is not. Please turn the thermostat down a bit before my poor body has a fit. The temperature must be just right, a certain range in Fahrenheit. 77 is a sure bet. Anything hotter will make me sweat. It can't be colder than 55. That is what will keep me alive. Moisture is such wonderful stuff. See, I'm picky about it. I need just enough. If I am not slick, I become sick. If I am too dry, man, I will die. Please pull the chain and make it rain. That will suffice. You are mighty nice.
Most bins usually don't need to have more water added because the food that is fed to the worms contains enough moisture. If your bin gets too wet, add more fluffed shredded paper to absorb the extra moisture.
Dim or bright lights are not for me. In the darkness is where I should be. So make it right and turn off that light. Light in my life always makes me sad. Thanks for turning it off and making me glad.
See? Red worms have a thing for having their bins just right. And you did a good job adjusting Bubba's environment. Hey, why don't worms ever come out in the winter? Because they only come out in worm weather. I'm too funny. Oh, wow! You have a choice to make now. You can learn more about worms and meet my friend the bionic worm, or you can go build that worm bin with Hugh Hammer in the tool shed. If you want to see the inside of a worm, click on the bionic worm now. If you want to build that worm bin, click on the tool shed now. No. Now for this next segment, I will become Dr. Vermi. How do you do? Please look at the anatomy chart of the bionic worm and follow my pointer. We will first look at the worm's outside parts. Note the mouth flap, which we call the prostonium. It is a sensitive pad of flesh on the head that helps the worm find food. Then check out the band. Dun, 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 dun. Which we call the clitellum, which contains the male and female parts of the worm. See here, the hair-like bristles called the setae, they keep the worm from sliding during movement. Finally, note that the worm has segments which make up its body length. Now let's look at the inside of the worm. Note it has a brain, and count them 5 hearts. Ooh, a royal flush. Its digestive system has several main parts. The gullet is connected to the crop is connected to the gizzard is connected to intestines, and intestines are connected to the anus. Now, you get to be the doctor. Place the correct body part on the right spots of our bionic worm model. Do this by clicking on the part of the worm where you think the highlighted body part belongs. You will be done, then you have placed all the body parts in the proper places. Nine? Try again. If you need help, please click on the anatomy. 9! Try again. If you need help, please click on the anatomy chart at the bottom of the screen. Yeah, you got it. Yeah, you got it. Yeah, you got it. Worm anatomy is a lot more interesting than you thought, yeah? Well, now it's time for me to say goodbye. I'm going back to Vermini. Actually, I'm going back to being Vermi. Hey, ready to do more cool stuff? Okay, let's go talk to Hugh Hammer in the tool shed about building that new worm bin. To do this, click on the tool shed button.
No.